Well, folks, it's Thursday night, and this is the second episode of After Market. I'm James Black, joined by
Barrington Miller.
both of us work for a company called the Canadian Securities Exchange, and we're going to tell you just after the intro how this is all possible because of cannabis. But first, DJ, drop that beat.
Do you know my name?
All right, well, it's Thursday night. This is our second try at this Barrington. I thought the maiden voyage last week was pretty good. If anyone wants to watch that, I'll put the link up below and down below. And Barrington, I just want to welcome you again to Aftermarket. We obviously didn't screw up too much last week because they let us do it again. So welcome.
Yeah,
We survived another week.
You know what? This is probably the easiest show I've been on because it's, we're familiar with one another and we just get to talk, which is something we like to do.
Mm-hmm.
We have good microphones,
Yep.
good lighting, good earphones or headphones or earphones. Back in my day,
Yeah.
they were called earphones. It's good, and it's a nice break from the regular same old corporate talk speak. I think
And I think that was the whole point of this endeavor was to for now it's a limited engagement, but the idea being that we'd have more conversations with peers in our industry being finance, specifically in Canada. And yeah, just getting into a bit more of the lifestyle, the culture behind what we do, and not necessarily having an agenda-driven discussion about a company or some CEO's journey, which is all fascinating. And again, I'll link above to all that stuff. But I think tonight we kind of, like I said, this is the first ever business nighttime show or late night show, I should say. So we're trying to build the show through that lens. So right now it's me and Barrington. We're talking. As you can tell, we have killer chemistry because we've been working together forever.
haven't seen the guy in 6 months.
I know, it's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
And we'll bring on guests. And one thing I'll say about guests is that we made a few offers this week and people were too busy. So I'm sorry that there was only 100 views on this last week. There'll be 101 this week. Okay. I promise you that. So
absolutely
get on while the spaceship is taking off. Cause I'm telling you, a year from now, when you want to get on Aftermarket and you have to go through a booking agency, don't tell them James and Barry didn't tell you this was going to happen. So
it's going to happen. We've seen it.
So and I will talk about cannabis. Obviously I use that tease before the open, but one thing I did want to say is that as an aspiring late night show, we are going to have certain tropes. We're going to try different tropes out throughout the weeks that you, the viewer, can comment on down below if you like, or you can just call us up because we assume it's friends and family watching. And we're going to try different. Hey, Mom, I actually don't even think my mom knows what I do. So that's fine. But some of these tropes are classics, and any late night show goes through headlines. Headlines are easy. We don't have a writer's room, unfortunately. So what we're going to try to do is give you headlines that we saw throughout the week that we think are important, that are culture and business oriented, that speak to our world. And so tonight we're going to do what I'm going to call lazy headlines. And Barrington, I want you to try to describe what a lazy headline is, because I think I'll go way too far off the deep end if I go into this.
Yeah, a lazy headline is you're not going to read the article. You're going to. We were talking about this off camera. James rolls in to a dinner party, is expected to make some conversation. My go-to is always the weather. I'm Jamaican. My dad and I will literally talk about the weather. And after that, because we're in a more sensitive time and you want to be careful of not to offend anyone's sensibilities. So you go with the generic headlines. I didn't say it. I'm just repeating it. It's safe, but you never actually read the article.
Let us be those guys that told you that thing that because you heard it from someone else, it's kind of true and you know more about it, even though you did absolutely no research or primary discovery or any work trying to learn more about it. Let us be those people for you, please.
I actually know what it is. For those of you who do not subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, or the Globe and Mail. It gives you the headline, and then it's about 2 or 3 or 4 lines, and then it fades. That's pretty much where I stopped reading. So,
or hit the paywall.
exactly.
I'm not going to pay for this stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I pay for too many other things. So my go-to is the when you go swipe right or you open up your iPhone and you get the Apple News, and sometimes it has like the Globe and Mail, it's got CNN, and then it's got TMZ and People, and usually the most like disgusting stories are People Magazine, not TMZ. TMZ is just entertaining. You get some Slate in there, some like not even legitimate news sources are getting primary exposure. So we're going to try to give you the real news. We're not going to talk about Ellen DeGeneres or as some people call her, Ellen Degenerate. And so here's my top 3 this week, or actually the committee came up with these top 3 this week. TikTok. So you might have heard of this app called TikTok. 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 That's my next app. That's my knockoff app. And so TikTok is going to get banned potentially by Donald Trump unless it's purchased by an American owned and operated company like Microsoft. And I guess I don't even really know what TikTok does, even though I manage our social media. I can't figure it out. Hit me in the comments below if you want to tell me what it is in 140 characters or less. But yeah, just tell me what TikTok is. But Barrington, do you use TikTok? I know you've got teenage children. Do they use it? Would you let them use it?
Nope. All nose. Throwing up nose all over the place. I think I know they watch it.
Why is it going to get banned by Donald Trump?
Because it's a spying service. If you go into it, and you're watching this because you either clicked on it by accident or you know us, and if you know us, then you know me, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. Anything and everything. Let me tell you, when they show a preview for a movie, I believe it. I believe that preview. I think the movie is going to be that good. So, yeah, I was told that it's a spying service, spying platform, and I believe it. So,
run by the reptilians are the owner operators of that. I mean, look, my 5-year-old was playing Animal Crossing today, which I do know all about, and it was asking him for his favorite color of food or something, and I was going, oh, there they go, they're data mining my 5-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if he likes oranges or apples. I mean, it's
it doesn't end. It doesn't end.
Okay, so we'll chalk that one up. Next time you're at a dinner party, TikTok is trying to steal your precious personal data. First company to ever do it, believe it or not. Shame on them. Shame on you,
Shame
TikTok.
on you, TikTok.
Well, good thing we have Donald Trump. Okay, Mulan. Let's move on to Disney. So kudos to Disney. They got everyone to buy Disney Plus. It was the biggest ramp up ever for a digital streaming service back in wherever, I think late last year.
Yeah.
So today, because movie theaters are nowhere close to opening again due to obvious circumstances, the live action version of Mulan, which hopefully is better than the live action version of Aladdin, is going to come out on their service, but they're going to charge you $30 for this. So you don't get it now as part of Disney Plus. And I guess where I'm going with this is next time you're at a dinner party or on the campground with friends and need to sound smart, just say, hey, look, did you know Mulan's coming out? And you're going to have to pay for it. And guess what? It's going to be $30.
$30. Do you pay for it? That's the real question. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They could charge $50. They could charge $20. Do you in your household pay for $30 streaming Mulan?
Okay, and because this is a business-oriented late-night television show or internet broadcast, people start doing that the popcorn math. Like, oh, okay, I was going to go to the theater. It's going to cost me gas, maybe a babysitter, like $50 in popcorn and soda. Like, obviously, it's $30. Like, it's a new release. I'm going to pay that. And I go, no, man. Guess what? Because like a lot of people, I haven't had time to watch jack all during COVID because I've been cooking and cleaning and looking after my kids, working, believe it or not, and just trying to like survive. So No, Mulan, you're not going to get my $30, Disney. I'm sorry. There's like 100 other things on your platform that I still need to watch. But if you want to sound smart, the reason that they're doing it is because they want people to not drift in and out of their service. So, it's not like every month Mandalorian comes out, right?
That got me. That got me hard, man. Mandalorian.
Yep.
That was the biggest worm, and it hooked. It hooked nicely. It gave everybody who was like me, who loved Star Wars, who love Westerns, and it gave it all. Great acting, great music. Just, yeah. It got
Great. I mean, Baby Yoda. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Baby Yoda. So special kudos to them for that. But yes, they're trying to avoid the drift in, drift out. People going in and out of the service and not paying the $7. Because if you cancel while you have Mulan and paid the $30, you don't get Mulan. It's kind of stupid. But
right.
There you go. Next dinner party, you can use that, even though dinner parties don't exist anymore. And here's one. This is for all the people that really want to sound smart. This is Tesla's planned 5-way split of their stock. Okay. So they're going to take all their stock and then they're going to split it 5 ways so that if you own 1 share, you get 5 shares. And there's a lot of reasons companies do this. We won't bore you with it, but it's oftentimes meant to have cheaper stock so more people can buy it and potentially drive up the price again. So right now, I haven't looked at the price of Tesla. I will put it up on the screen here if I can get my editor to do it. I haven't bought the stock, but I'm assuming today it's $100. I'm sure it's a lot more. Barrington,
times 10.
Times 10. Are you going to buy more Tesla stock or any Tesla stock because it's cheaper?
No, I am not. Simply because my money is being spent elsewhere on 2 teenagers. I'm not going to buy Tesla. I'll buy other stock, but not Tesla. And I think it's a great company, and I love Elon and all that he's doing in the innovation. Not just him and his team, but no.
I'm a big fan of buying stuff that you can use or buy. I can't afford a Tesla, nor do I want to set up a charging station in my garage. There's like hockey nets and bikes and stuff. It's just not going to work. So I'm out on Tesla stock, but I believe in them too. Next time you're at a dinner party, just say, hey, did you hear about that 5-way split of Tesla stock? I'm thinking of buying some because now it's more affordable. Or maybe you should buy some. Not a stock tip, but I just heard from these guys on this
show. I was clicking through and I accidentally stumbled upon them and I saw a guy drinking apple juice.
Exactly. Okay. So that's lazy headlines, folks. I hope that helped you be more socially adept and sound more intelligent. And if not, just tell us in the comments below. And by the way, while you're looking below, there's a little thumbs up button. We need you to hit that. I really need you to hit that. The future of the show is all about you hitting that button.
It actually is hanging by a thumb.
I will not lie. The only person who really provided a legitimate YouTube comment on the last episode was our boss. So, which was hilarious because his YouTube name is literally his full name. Richard Carlton.
Thanks, Richard.
He's not ashamed to be Richard Carlton. Okay. Moving on. So that was lazy headlines. Now we're going to do boring headlines. So part of the reason we created this program was, again, to kind of break free a little bit of the tropes, the mundaneness sometimes that creeps into business media, especially in Canada. Sorry, Canada, but our business media landscape sucks. Okay, I'm just going to say it right now.
I'm jumping in. Jumping in. We want it to suck. We want it to be boring because we don't need the excitement and the drama which surround us, which are elsewhere. Canada, please stay boring.
But I think there's a limit to boring mundaneness. I think we can do a better job of sugarcoating things. So boring headlines. The point of this segment is to give people some insight into what we notice. And
oh God.
And Barrington did his homework on this one. So you're going to hit me with some boring headlines, and maybe we're going to try to spice them up a little bit, or
Well, this one wasn't boring. It was just sad. And we had this assignment and I kind of strayed from it. I'm like, is this boring? But Disney ends the historic 20th century Fox brand. And I was sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. That got me. Because it had the
Can you say that again?
3D letters. What's that?
Can you say that again?
Yeah. Disney ends the historic 20th Century Fox brand.
That
I think
one?
it's going to be called, it's going to be called 20th Century or 20th Television, I think.
Hmm.
The Mouse of House is alive and well. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, 85 years old, something like that. And it's part of the thing. And that made me sad. That made me sad. I'm nostalgic.
Yeah, I mean, they bought part of Fox's. Rupert Murdoch split off Fox News and Fox
Yeah.
everything else basically. Geez, I think it was last year. And so the only reason I know this is because that now means that the people who make the legit Marvel movies can now make the X-Men movies. And if you've seen an X-Men movie the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, they've been pretty bad.
Seen all of them.
And yeah, the last one, the Phoenix one, was particularly terrible. And
it took a while. You know what? It took a long time to get up for that, and we did, and we watched it, and
no, I fell asleep. I usually fall asleep if I feel like my brain already understands the plot. It's like, oh, okay, here's it triggers something inside of me. Believe it or not, the last movie I didn't fall asleep during was Marriage Story on Netflix.
Nope.
I watched it on February 14th.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Sorry.
I got a boring headline.
Yeah.
I got a boring headline. CMHC head plan. Oh, sorry. Let's restart that one. CMHC head pleads with Canadian banks to avoid risky mortgages. This was headlining on a particularly popular Canadian business website. You guys want to hear that one more time? CMHC head pleads with Canadian banks to avoid risky mortgages. Wow.
I visually see somebody pleading on their hands and knees. Don't do it. Don't do the risky mortgage.
You just hit the nail on the head, Barrington. They're using a language they can't back up. So they're saying they're using this very strong term, plead, like please do something. But it's then you see that there's a video of a guy. He's wearing like a suit and tie, and he's in his house. And we should talk about fashion in a minute.
COVID dress code.
Yeah, which I break constantly now. But he looks kind of sad. Like there's a still shot. I'll try to pull it up. And he's in a nice house. But I mean, like, is he really pleading, or is he just kind of asking, like, hey, can you just...
You guys mind? Not.
Would you mind? Hey, big, giant, monolithic, oglyopoly bank consortium. Can you maybe just lean on, just chill a little bit?
Just a little.
Just avoid the risky mortgages. We don't have like a mortgage crisis.
I found a headline
that
made me... I just laughed. The Kentucky Derby will allow spectators in the stands, but the capacity is capped at 14%. not 15%, not 13%. Not gonna lie, I just don't know how they got exactly to 14.
Was it a round number? Like
what would have been better would be it's capped at 14-1 odds. That I get.
Oh, you've been sitting on that one.
I know. As soon as I saw it, but
how many horses are in the race? 14? That would be killer. That'd be they thought that one through.
I did come across a lot of Trump headlines, but I thought it would just be too easy.
He's banned.
Trump calls democratic demands ridiculous as blame traded over virus aid stalemate. I just feel that he literally says anything. He says whatever.
Yeah, he's got his own special category. I don't think we have time today to
no, we don't
segment off of his headlines, but
he gives 0 Fs all over the place, and
an astounding amount of 0 Fs given. I'll just go back to Kentucky Derby. So the NFL, the NFL released like a list of each team's plans for attendance, many of which were like, yeah, we don't really know yet. This is a league that's supposed to start in like 4 weeks. And then, so last week we talked about sports. There were some who were like, who was at Baltimore? Like, yeah, we're only going to allow 18,000 fans That's like 12% of our capacity. And I'm getting the numbers a little off, but it was some egregiously huge number. Like a hockey stadium fits as many people as they were like hedging by saying it's like 18,000. We're not going to let season ticket holders have tickets. It's going to be first come first serve. And it's going like, you kidding me? 18,000 people? Like
Oh. Well,
what at that point? What's the difference between 90? I
like,
mean,
why do it? Why bother?
they're not understanding it, right? They're not
Oh my
getting it.
gosh, I don't get the United States. I really, with some things, I love them, country
Love
people.
America. We love America.
Oh, love them, but
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I'm playing off of the football story. College football. There's schools that are going to be in trouble without college football, which is a problem if your athletic program uh, can't really hold for a season, perhaps. At the actual school, the academia is what suffers. I don't get it. I think we've gone a little too far. We've come a little too.
Oh man, I have to go to school.
Yeah, and
I have to actually do my own school. Like
trust me,
it's gonna
college
ruin
sports
kids.
is right up there for food. But
Yeah.
I think it's a problem when the school itself is going to suffer and is really really concerned because of sports.
Yeah. They're concerned for the kids that actually need to participate in the primary reason for their existence, which is going to class. It's scary times, folks.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, that was lazy. Sorry, that was that was boring headlines, which actually turned into pretty exciting headlines, if you ask me. So I just want to move on. So this would be the time in the show where we'd introduce a guest. We'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?" As I mentioned earlier, the call is out. Like, if you want to be the first guest on this, and you consider yourself a peer of myself and Barrington Miller, just pick up the phone. Actually, don't text me. Do text me, I should say, or Barrington. Hit us up and step into the ring. Come on a Thursday night. We're just at home I'm in my basement. I got nothing else to do.
I'm I'm in Studio B, in front of the closet upstairs.
That's right, Studio
B.
That's or as I like to call it, the B suite. I'm gonna tell you, we're using all our material. Plan B. So let's go back. So today, in our professional capacity, Barrington, actually, you were a moderator of a fairly well attended, I should say, virtual industry update. So these are events that we participate corporately through Canadian Securities Exchange and other corporate friends like MMP, Aird & Burles, which is a law firm. And you were talking about cannabis, and it was a really great time in the middle of August to sort of just take a breath and recap this industry, which is, as I said, if it wasn't for cannabis, we wouldn't be sitting here with the luxury of time and capabilities and equipment, everything to produce a show like this. So thank you, cannabis. Thank you so much. But Barrington, like, tell me what you did today, and just give me let's dive into a little bit, but like, what is the word cannabis meant to you from a business standpoint these last few years? How do we even wrap that into a tidy little package?
Well, you can't. It's timing and planning meet opportunity, meet being at the right place, meets having the right management, meets just being who we are as a stock exchange and what we represent. So we're doing a 4-part series called Virtual Investor Update, and this was the 4th installment. Where's the cannabis market? People were sort of down on it. They were trashing it. Valuations were really, really high when it came out. Then it came off, and then it went up, and then U.S. decisions were made, and things were said, and it went down again. And it was acting like a real industry from start. And we were privileged enough to see the infancy of it, business-wise and corporate-wise. So we took the liberty of having a discussion of where it is. And like you said, we had expert guests from Aird & Burles with Sherry Altschuler and Richard Kimmel, from MMP with David Danziger, Mr. James Parker, formerly of MedMen, CFO, and I think Richard Carlton from the Canadian Securities Exchange. I'm like, I'm missing somebody really, really important. That's my plug for Richard, and I got to host it. So we covered a variety of topics. The last one, I'm jumping right to the end, was Cannabis Hot Topics. We talked about banking. We talked about legalization and interstate commerce and interstate travel. And James Parker was actually the one who said that will have the most profound impact on the industry ever.
Yeah.
Is interstate commerce. It's not banking. It's not legalization. Banking's a red herring. They have bank accounts. Legalization, not sure, because people right now are built for in-state only and separate state infrastructure. So they're operating. You find the silver lining, and COVID was one of them. For all the negative and obvious bad things, it was the industry itself was deemed an essential service. And that is something. I had a conversation with a gentleman named Kenny Mack from Restore the Harm. Look it up. They're doing some really, really great things on the social equity piece. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good conversation. Yeah, where are we? What does cannabis mean to me? From a stock exchange, it shone a light, put a light on us like never before. And I'm going to give credit to the management and credit to the employees, and particular credit to our trading system and our trading engine, which gets no attention because nobody cares. The volume spikes that we saw, we handled with ease. And when people realized, hey, this exchange can take it, and we can keep going, and we can keep trading, and more and more and more, and companies could facilitate their business and get access to capital markets, and they could grow, and it could become more legitimate from the, I guess, the illicit market more into the legal market. So it means we kind of grew up.
Yeah, no,
it's still growing, but that's what it, that's a long-winded sort of answer as to what today was, what cannabis was yesterday,
yeah,
and where it will be going.
So I was just thinking about, not so long ago, we would have these phone calls internally and go, can we go to these conferences in the US? Because they were starting to pinch people that were operating in Canada and going to the US to participate in, cannabis businesses like in Nevada and whatnot. And there were a few people in Vancouver got pinched, and then people started getting nervous, going, "Oh, you're going to lose your 5-year. You're going to ban for 5 years going to the U.S." And just kind of hilarious now that
it's like, okay,
yeah, sorry. You never think that this is where your career is going to go, and you never thought this is an industry that was going to be like a benchmark of, at this point 5 or 6 years of what we're doing. But I must say it's been pretty cool. It's been great to meet a lot of these people along the way in the journey, and looking forward to seeing what happens. I mean, right now, the way I see it is the Canadian companies are kind of just all struggling because they were basically building farms, right? And not a great business. It's very much a thin margin, high volume business. Canada, believe it or not, isn't the greatest place in the world to grow cannabis at scale. You have to build these big greenhouses for it to meet any sort of standard that the government and the end purchasers are going to be comfortable with. And right. I think a lot of people lost sight of that, really early on, which was, well, we're going to fill all this market demand. And it's like, well, yeah, no, a lot of people are already getting what they want at a very high quality through illicit ways. But geez, when's the last time anyone in Canada got arrested or put in jail for a long sentence because they bought street drugs? You know what I mean?
Cannabis street.
Cannabis, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, don't go
Yes.
buy heroin until you have James say, "Oh, you're not going to."
Don't buy anything
Don't
from
buy
the
anything off.
illicit market.
No, I'm not advocating for that. But point being is that, everyone was trying to come up with these premium style brands and everything. And at the end of the day, I mean, if you've already got a habit and it's being supplied in a very comfortable way, oftentimes just by picking up the phone and making a quick call, not that I know that, um, how are you going to outperform that? How are you going to outperform on cost? People treat this illicit market like, and everyone had this concept. I guess what I'm reaching for here is everyone just thought because they were doing the altruistic thing and going, we're going to tax it and we're going to put it in stores and it's going to put in nice packages. They thought they were going to change people's habits, and businesses all the time take for granted how ingrained and habitual people are. And you see this a lot of ways. And cannabis really blew it when they decided the industry in Canada and the way that they deployed things and thought and capital everything. They didn't put the customer habit first, and they didn't realize, like we talked last week on curbside pickup, every time you put a barrier up to getting a quality product with convenience that you trust, is just preventing people from going into any sort of store or anything that's run by a government that gets taxed. And that's where they've screwed up. I don't want to go into specific little things, but last week we talked about curbside pickup. That's an easy one.
Yep.
Just one more way where people are not going to be able to have a good user experience through the purchase cycle. So they're going to say, screw it. I'm still going to get it the way I've always got it. And so there you go. The industry kind of in Canada got what it deserved. And then the US, obviously, as you mentioned, the regulations have totally gotten in the way. So until people can move stuff interstate, as you mentioned, a lot of people will have these sort of state dominant positions, but they're not going to have what ultimately is going to be exciting for investors, which is total, dominance of a region or even the country. And that's, who knows when that's going to happen. So do you have any predictions on that?
No,
No.
because
Good. You're smart.
yeah, like it's not going to be during this election. It's not going to be next year. It's not going to be the year after. It's not. I actually think, and this is my own personal opinion, I think the illicit market is kind of needed. And it's not needed in a way to access um, access cannabis. It's a checks and balances. And the one state that really, really does it, one of the states is California.
Mm.
That's one of the ways they determined how much tax to put on. It's like, all right, we're going to throw whatever, 15%. And I could be totally making this up. But 50%, they're like, nope, we're out.
Mm.
Okay. 11%. Nope, we're out. 10%. You know what? We can live with that. And that's it. Same quality, higher, higher standards of testing, those types of things. And again, it was being compared to, you need something to compare it to. And you need something to keep it in check. Like, how does the government know what to charge for a gram or what to charge for an ounce?
Yeah. How are you establishing that baseline price?
Yeah, are they going around to people saying, how much are you willing to pay? I'm willing to pay 40 cents. No, you're going to see what's out there and then use that as your gauge. The price is always going to be fluctuating because it's a commodity.
Well, and that's my point is that you have to, if you're the government and you want to sell weed, you have to drastically outperform the black market on price, not be more expensive.
Yeah.
You're trying to break people's habits. What's going to drive someone to you as a provider? A much better price. And secondly,
and convenience.
let me pick up the phone or go on the internet, buy it for cheaper. And I don't really care what the package looks like, to be honest. Just tell me what it does. And I'm good.
Yeah.
But they haven't done that.
I'm going to take a really large province like Ontario, and I'm only going to open up a few dispensaries. And I am not going to squeeze out the illicit market by saturating it. I am going to I'm going to add more barriers. to force people who really don't feel comfortable or able to go into dispensaries or order online from a dispensary, and they have to order through this one organization. It's not going to be that show. We're not going to be that show. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. You're not going to get me. Not this week.
No. And there's a lot of people that
it is frustrating. It is
gasoline on the dumpster fire of the Canadian cannabis industry right now. But it's like we support the industry. We want it to be successful, but it's going through some growing pains, and obviously we grow with it. So hopefully we can all work together to build a better future. And I'm going to talk about convenience for a second. So I'm going to transition a little bit into what I hope to be another regular segment, which is personal topics. So these are just things that happen in our irregular lives. So, we talk about convenience this week, or maybe it was the week before, whatever, here in Toronto, and I'm in Newmarket, which is north. Costco has got a deal now with Instacart where you can order Costco groceries delivered straight to your door. Now, okay, whatever. A lot of people, like Amazon and stuff, are getting in that game. We just got this. So if you're watching in America, you've probably had it for a while because you get everything first. But it's not only that you just get it like a day or two later. I did 2 orders this week, Barrington. Guess how soon I got my order? Just guess.
Was it? Please don't tell me it was same day. Please don't tell me it was same day.
Dude, like within 2 hours.
Oh, that's a game changer. No.
Within 2 hours, legit. You order at the start of the day, you'll get it at 9. You order at 9, you get it by 11. 100%. And they weren't like huge orders.
They can't keep that up. No way. Well,
that's what I was thinking. So I analyzed a little bit. So again, this is a business show. The prices are up a little bit. Okay. So if you go to the warehouse, so once you drive there, once you fight for parking, once you get, through all the COVID protocol, what's your time worth? Right. So I always put a price on my time. And so anyways, there's that. So I would say they put the prices up somewhere between 10 to 20% per product, but not some more than others. Like there'd be weird things like I didn't order a bag of popcorn because they jacked up the price, but then something like a box of Made Good bars, which my kids devour, was almost the same price as the store, it seems. So, and then when you compare it to regular down the street grocery, then you get that economy of scale. Like a box of 24 bars versus a box of 6, it's only 3 times the cost of you know what I mean? Like You're starting to get like 10 to 8 bars for free if you think in those terms. So it totally outperforms local grocery, which outside click and collect, I don't really want to do unless it's super, organic, fresh, or local, right? So all I got to say is Costco delivery is a game changer. It's a cheat code. It's contra, up, down, left, right, select, start, or whatever the hell. It's unlocking efficiency and life hacking, I think, in a way that I've never experienced with grocery. Just be warned, pretty limited product selection, but who cares? It's food at your door in 2 hours.
2 hours with kids? Oh, 10%? I'm sorry. I'm hearing a bunch of yeses all across the place.
And for the millions of watchers, I've just ruined my advantage because obviously it's going to not ramp well. But I think it's like Uber or whatever. They get these guys that go and pick the order and probably at the local Costco, and then someone gets, it's like, any of those food delivery apps, right? It's just for groceries. So tip them a little bit, but we're all in this together. Help a guy out or a lady out and go get your 2 hour groceries. Don't be a chump and go to the store. So
I was a chump.
Support your local grocer, by the way. I'm totally serious. Just go get some stuff from there too, like your meat and whatnot. But
I'm gonna sort of tie it in. I did go to Costco because I was a local chump and I didn't realize they could deliver. And I purchased oxtail from Costco.
Oh wow!
It's vacuum sealed, vacuum packaged. The pieces were like my fist. I think it was like around $20, 22. I was like, all right, I'll give this. I know Costco buyers.
Mm-hmm.
I know them. They're really good. Like their fish is pretty much sushi grade, and they just can't call it sushi grade. They're not allowed to.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure it was served as sushi somewhere in the GTA because that's good without any problems. Again, just probably making rumors, but I cooked it. I cooked the oxtail. I slow cooked it last night. 8.5 hours on low, seasoned it, and yeah, it's gold. Costco. I can buy oxtail from you and make it.
Fair. Can you explain to me when I go to my local Costco at the end of the freezer aisle after all like the pita pockets and pizza pops and yogurt, there's just that like hanging carcass of a lamb. Like everything
Oh,
is like something you can put in your freezer.
it's massive. I love it. I love
What
it.
is it? Who buys that?
It's like go big or home. Oh, there are people who do, and I love watching the people who do because they know what they're doing. They know what they're looking for, and I just wish I had. I wish I had the balls to like follow them and ask, "Can I come to the party?" or
What are you doing? Is
something?
it
Or
like are you putting
can
it
I
in the
come to the
ground?
picnic? Or I don't know. I don't know how they're going to cook it, but I just know it's going to be delectable. Um,
How long are they in there for? I just don't get it. Like it seems like they're turning this over. Like
yeah, it's
this isn't a
Costco
typical
knows,
product.
man. Costco knows.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in there sometimes.
Not weird, just different.
Just
Like
different.
you're
Sorry,
used to.
we
Just
don't need to
different.
judge. I
No,
don't
we
just
can't. We can't judge. We
we
can't.
can't judge. All right. Well, and maybe I'll end on that note because I wanted I wanted to talk a bit about vacations.
Let's talk.
All right, let's talk
Let's
about
let it
vacations.
roll. Let it roll a bit
All right.
as
All
I
right.
get more comfortable on my chair.
Yeah. What is a vacation in 2020? I went away this weekend. I went to a friend's cottage. It was nice. But I feel like you're trying to pack too much into 2 days. You're just, everything, right? Um, what I just want to know, like, what's your whole philosophy going to be on vacation this year? Are you going to take it? Where are you going to go? Like, how do we even
Uh,
conceptualize that right now?
everything that I've been reading about has said and suggested that you take vacation. Doesn't
Mm,
matter if there's a pandemic and you can't literally travel or get on a plane or whatever. Um, take the vacation. Have that separation. It's not more. It's more about having that distance. You want to talk about the work-life balance
hmm
as we sit, in your basement or in front of my closet. Um, you need to. So vacation for us, and I'm really thinking about the end of the month
hmm
personally, is shutting it down. And the people that I've talked to who have taken it, people at the CSE, people that work at other companies, some do what you did. They'll take a day trip, a day or two. Some will go nowhere and they will not check their emails. They'll just do stuff that they wanted to do that isn't work related. They have that break, they have that separation. It's not about like for me and for a lot of people, it's not about traveling. It's about getting that separation back between work and non-work life.
Good point. And I think if you are a boss or just a very busy colleague or just someone who likes to keep in touch with people you work with and they're on vacation, public service announcement, don't bug them. Don't send them stuff. Don't give them a call unless you're like friends. Um, just leave them alone because I
Yeah,
think it's important to give that space and respect it. And then, when they're back, they'll be back. But just chill out. And, you know, we're like I said, we're all in this together. So that's a great point, Barrington. I think that's a positive note to leave on. We are
absolutely.
positive dudes. We want to make this a positive program. So if you're going on vacation, just tell us. We won't bug you. You can watch all these episodes. You can catch up. You can come on Thursday nights. I will say that a special announcement. We just recently on CSE TV, where this is hosted, reached the 1,000 subscriber mark. Okay, what that will eventually mean? Yeah, that's right, folks. We're like 500 million away from PewDiePie. So what we need what we need to do is get you to subscribe, please, because I want you to come back and join us for the next episode. We want you to be involved. We want you to like this if you liked it. If you didn't like it, just give us a thumbs down. But either way, up or down, hook it up. Comment below. Let us know, what your thoughts are. I think we tried a few different things this episode. but yeah, just come back and participate, have fun with us. And eventually, like I said, with 1,000 people, we can get to monetization, not to make money, but we can actually start doing this live. And it'd be really fun to do this show live with all our friends watching, maybe do some live questions and bring in some guests and make this a little more interactive. But until then, it's just two dudes in their basement and bedroom talking in front of a camera.
That's it. Got
Full
some lights.
disclosure, I can't even see Barrington. I'm literally looking at myself through a monitor. It's awesome. But these are the things that we're trying. And we appreciate you listening. If you made it this far, just hit me up and, let me know what you thought. So
don't be afraid to make suggestions too. If there's stuff you want us to talk about, stuff you want us to explore, movies you want us to review, not Mulan, because we're not paying $30.
Sorry, Disney.
Nope.
You broke our hearts by killing the Fox intro. Now you're giving us $30. It seems like they're losing their touch a little bit. Okay, well, on that, again, we'll keep looking at the headlines next week. Hopefully, we have some more boring and lazy headlines for you, so you sound smart at your next, let's say, camping trip, because there's no more dinner parties. And this is James Black. I'm JB. I'm signing off. Barrington,
signing off as well. Thank you for joining.
All right, have a safe night. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next aftermarket. Cheers.
Cheers.